Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of RaceDayTV, the live show. Just me and Ben today. Nobody else. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no one else, yeah.
One day.
How are we doing, everybody? My name is Randy Phillips here of the Roughing Fenders Podcast. Me and Mark used to do, obviously, the Roughing Fenders Podcast. He got me started with all this stuff. We thank you for paroling me, so I'm allowed back. And,
Hey, you know what? New year, new beginnings.
I get that. I appreciate it. I want people to know that.
We should do a contest to see how long until Randy gets himself kicked out.
I don't want to. No. So like that was like the longest joke when I did like announce it and stuff like that. And they're like, "You'll get kicked out in a week." And I was like, "No, I got to try to be better," because obviously when I first started this podcast stuff, I was obviously hell bent because I was sick of dealing with the politics that I did deal with at the time, and then obviously being on the other side, like we were talking off air. It's a whole different perspective, and then obviously my son coming into this world.
Which, by the way,
Yeah.
great dad.
I appreciate you for that.
You're exposing that kid to some cool stuff. Every time I see the videos of Boone Man out doing stuff.
Yeah.
Like there was one I saw. I wish I could remember what it was. You posted a picture the other day that just had me cracking up. Keep talking, and I'm going to look this up because this is a good one.
So Boone is his own entity because this kid is like the most friendly kid I've ever met in my life. Like he'll go up to anybody, give everybody fist bumps, high fives. He's a kid that you want at a racetrack, and like that's why I'm trying to push him into racing and stuff like that, because he'll be there with everybody just like enjoying his life. And like, congrats on your kid coming into this world. Like we were talking off air, and he's in the stage of 3-hour sleep schedules, and
it's horrible.
It gets so much better. And then
That's what everyone says, but I still don't believe it yet.
it does. At a point, you come into like all this stuff, and like me, I was hell bent. Like I didn't care about anything. But then when Boone came into my life and all that stuff, like it grounds you real quickly.
You know what?
You appreciate being innocent and not knowing what's going on.
Oh, you know what the funny is? That I'll admit I was conceited. I'm like, yeah, I love myself and fuck everybody.
This picture right here.
Oh, yeah,
that's
the
awesome.
cowboy. Yeah. So it was Halloween, and we were both cowboys for that. So. Yeah,
He's got his hands up like, what up? At first, like, I love that.
He was ready to go trick-or-treating. That's why he turned around and did that. I was like, all right, hold on a second, man.
He was like, I was promised I got to wear this dumb boots. I was getting candy. Where is it?
He's getting candy. I got to lick her up so I can be warm enough to stand out there with you, buddy. Like, but as you were saying.
Yeah, no, it's funny. Yeah. I was conceited a little bit. Like, yeah, fuck you. I love myself. Yeah, I'm going to kiss my ass. And then when the little guy was born, I go, okay, you know what? I never thought I could
Friend
love
of the
something.
show, Kevin. Original women as Randy's lawyer. I'd advise Mark to utilize the mute button until 7.
I miss Kevin, man. I saw him at Star, and he's
You know the one person I didn't call? I didn't call Kevin to see if he could come today. I
would've
should have
been
had
good,
Kevin
man.
come today. Kevin, you only live like 25 minutes away.
With Jersey Mike's. The hell? I'm hungry.
Yeah, you got to stop at Jersey Mike's first. We literally just ate. How can you be hungry?
I'm fat, man. I
It
can't help
happens. It's the low metabolism, so then you just balloon up. But yeah, no, I get your point. Like, you're just focused on yourself, and then when those kids come into the world, like, you just ground yourself. And I know this is very fucking off topic of racing, but
That doesn't matter. We all have kids.
These kids, and people got to realize that these kids are the next generation of this racing world, because I know I put up the helmet for a couple years to raise my son because I want him to be the best person that he can be. Obviously better than me, but at the same time, this next generation is the biggest thing, and that's what I push always, is like getting more stuff for the kids to get involved, the bike giveaways and all that stuff. I praise that stuff and all that stuff. You guys did the Thanksgiving stuff to help out families, and you guys deserve a lot more credit than obviously was given, even though there was a lot. You guys definitely put a smile.
Was never about credit.
It was never about that. It was just a give back.
And I gotta give Espinette a huge attaboy, because that was he spearheaded that entire thing, got sponsorship for that. Original Wheelman kicked in on that. A lot of people kicked in.
I brought a ham. I brought a ham to give away. I didn't know we were giving away turkeys, but yeah, I brought a ham. But no, I get your point, but it's probably the wrong word for it. Not credit, but to see that you guys are putting the extra effort to give back to the community that's around the racetracks and stuff like that. it's a big thing, and it just drives the thing even more forward because racing in its own, obviously with social media, it has its own life with it, but you also have to figure out the community that's around it. And that is one thing that I always gave Weber Senior credit for and all that stuff. Like my parents used to live down the road from Hudson Speedway when he was running it, and anybody that was near the track, they got in for free because just don't like complain. You know what I mean? You move next to a racetrack and stuff like that. But going to the point, like I want to give you guys praise for that because that's a big thing to do. You know what I mean? To give back and to get into the community and do that stuff. But that goes into the same thing as I'm saying is getting this next generation involved no matter what it is. You guys have the Hudson Heroes stuff and you guys had that or have had whatever.
Still have.
Still have. Okay. So, but it's all about the next generation and like to the drivers that do watch this, if you guys have 27, 30, 40 win trophies, second place trophies, whatever it is, go out into the grandstands and give one of these kids a trophy. Doesn't matter. It takes 5 minutes out of your day and you get to make some kid a lifelong fan. You don't know if that's your first time, and there's a lot of drivers that do it. And
may just expose that kid to be like, hey, I want to do that.
Exactly. There's going back to my own roots, like there's a lot of trophies that I had in my own because my dad raced. So but that got me into it. That got me to where it is. And like I said, the racers doing their part, the owners doing their part, all that stuff. Like as long as it's in the community, getting the next generation involved. And that's what I'm doing with my son is like this, like, I don't know, like a month ago, I was like racers. I was like, I don't care if I have to pay for it. If I have to send you a cashier's check, Venmo, whatever it is, I'll give you a beer, whatever it is, just send me a 3-teach shirt, whatever racing shirt. And like that's what we're doing this year is like every time I bring Boone, I'm gonna have a racer's shirt on him. So but he's the life of the party. He's definitely my son. But
is he into he enjoys it?
Oh yeah, no,
I saw him at the it's the Howler that I was at, right? Yeah, he seemed to
stand up by the fence.
Yes,
So,
he was having fun.
So he was at the pre-Howler. He was at all that stuff, and he loves it. We have like a little push cart that's a race car, of course, with racers stickers on it and all that stuff. He loves it. He absolutely enjoys everything. And
we'll have to give you a Pro Stock National sticker for
perfect.
it. Like one of the other.
He'll love it. He'll love it.
Actually, I think we have some kids' T-shirts, don't we, for that?
We have smalls. We don't have any actual kids.
He can fit right into it. He'll be all right. There's people that been sending it all over. Like I said, we covered north to south, so we know a lot of people, and they all send shirts up. We just got like these. Excuse me, damn, these beers are fighting back. This is Right Foot Down. They're out of Florida. I've been friends with them for a couple years now. So, but like I said, it's all going back onto the topic. It's all about getting the next generation involved. All about getting a part of the community and stuff. And you guys are doing pretty good about that. And like I said, I was hell bent when I first started, and I apologize for my actions that I were. I still think that sweater was fucking funny. I don't care how you feel about it.
Honestly,
it was funny.
I will admit, I actually liked it. And I'm pulling up and go, I'm mad, but I'm not.
It was just, obviously it was petty, but at the same time, I do apologize for it, but it was funny. I cackled at it a little bit.
But you know what, though? If you really think about it, that whole war thing we had, we kind of played off each other. Because I know when you sponsored Ryan Nelson, he brought it to the track, and it had the thing with the
whole billboard. Did
you see it? It was me and Graham posing next to the
No, I thought it was funny, and Ryan was a good shit about it because he still went to the tracks with it, and I was like, he might get shit. And he's like, I don't care. I was like, all right, man, I appreciate it, and like big shout out to Ryan Nelson for doing that because I came up with that idea, like to just do it because you sent me letters and all that stuff. I was like, all right, now it's so yeah, like you said, we played off each other, but like I said, it's a new leaf kind of thing, is like just trying to get everything involved. And racing's here. I don't want to say it's going away because I'm not going to sit there and be a naysayer. I think it's just steady right now. It can grow, but I doubt it's going to go away with how much momentum that we have around here in the Northeast with
I hope not.
From Vermont all the way down to New Jersey. Like it's pretty big, and then down south, like it's not going anywhere. And like people that are the naysayers about it are just.
But you know, you gotta remember too is that there's a lot of new fresh blood in this. You know, like think of it. You know, How long ago did you guys start Roughing Fenders? How many years ago was that?
It was 18 or 19, I thought.
2020.
Was it
2020 or 2021?
So,
June of 2021.
There's more podcasts with this, more media, social media presence on this. From like I said, I don't have it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But everything that I have seen or heard, it's always been more and more and more and more. So I'm with you on this one. I don't think it's going anywhere. It's steady right now. But like I said, it could be like the economy. It'll go up and then down and up and down, but it's still not going to go.
The thing that I like to see, though, is the interesting things different facilities, racetracks, and racers are doing to capitalize on all the different stuff. Yeah. Everyone's got a different strategy. We go to all these meetings, like, people see the fun stuff. They see us messing around on bird scooters in the middle of Indy and stuff.
Or me almost throwing up on a rollover simulator.
Yeah. I did watch that episode.
I don't care what anybody says. That was funny.
Oh, that was horrible.
That was hilarious. The best part about it is Matt trying not to make fun of Ben. That was the best part. He's like, so, you really going to throw up from being in the flip car for like 13 seconds? And I'm like, oh, this is going to get interesting.
I get motion sickness. That's the problem.
Well, yeah, no, I did watch that episode, and I'd be the same way. Like,
it was bad.
In Ben's defense, the person that went in front of him, they did a quick rollover and pulled him out normally. They stuck him upside down and was like, all right, let's do an extrication. And Ben's like, yeah, that's not going to work.
all the blood rushed to my head. I just felt my stomach go. Like, flip me over for the love of God.
Yeah.
He's trying to get my attention. I'm not paying attention to Ben. I'm completely talking to somebody else. I was talking to Carl Fredrickson.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We were just shooting the crap, and then all of a sudden Ben's like, me, hello.
I told him, guys, you got to flip me over. I'm not feeling good. Flip me over. And the guy that had the remote, it's like a wink.
He's like,
yeah.
No, it wasn't Carl. It was some other guy.
No, he was like, what?
Yeah. And the guy's like, flip him over. He was like, what? He goes, no, flip him over. So he's trying to find the remote, and he's like, man. I'm like, oh, God, get me out of this thing.
So like Randy gets to see one of the little secretive things that haven't been announced yet. Like over on the wall, we have new stuff that we're doing.
Yeah.
In Victory Lane, like there's the one for the Dwarf Car series, like,
and
trying to do a bunch of new cool stuff.
That's
hold on, let me make you a big guy.
Yeah. The T-shirt cannon
is here.
Going to hurt somebody with this.
It's gonna be fun though. I will 100% get hit with that numerous times.
That's going to hurt, man.
Randy, where's my shirt?
Which one's that?
Provost. John Provost says, where's my shirt?
Somewhere. Get DQ'd, you'll get a shirt. But going to like the strategies and stuff, the podcast thing is a big thing that it did take over after obviously COVID and stuff like that. Everybody's got a podcast and stuff like that. And
some of us have numerous. Ugh.
Yeah, no, I get that. And but the thing about podcasts, just like racetracks, you got to be your own different person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have James, which is he shouldn't talk to people, but I still let him go. I still let him go talk to people. Like a little side story on that. Like we went down to South Carolina because we had nothing to do. We were going to go to Martinsville for the Cars Toy race. That rained out. I'm only there for 2 days because it's a weekend trip. That I took a flight down, and I was like, well, if you're raining out until Monday, I gotta go,
Kevin.
I got to go somewhere. So we went to this. Yeah, see, there you go. See?
So real quick, that's one of the things that we're going to do. If you guys as racers would like your shirts to be put in the mix, just give them to the track at that event, and we will shoot them into the audience for you.
If you don't mind a little bit of blood stain on it and everything.
100% true story. Ben was measuring different objects in the office today to see what he could put in this thing. This is a real story.
Oh, yeah. I thought like confetti, maybe a beer.
That beer's fit. We already tested it.
Those beers fit, but
if we could have only got those tanks filled today, that would have been way more fun.
There'd be holes in the wall.
Shoot it straight up.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
God.
for my laptop, buddy.
No, I was about to say, I was like, that's for moist and everything in here. But yeah, no, that you have to be your own entity and all that stuff and doing all that. And like I said, James shouldn't talk to people because like we do the DQ sticker, and it was like a 10,000 to win enduro race that they had at some southern track, dirt track. I can't remember off the top of my head. So the person got DQ'd, and I was like, James, since you're down here, you can go and give it to him. And he's walking around like he got a Willy Wonka golden ticket, just asking who got DQ'd. And those Southerners, they don't like to have people know that they got DQ'd, and we found that out pretty quickly because these four guys just come out of the van, and I'm like, hold on a second, guys. Like, so I had to introduce myself. I was like, James is James, in a different way of saying that. And
Never met him.
LJ?
Yeah, never have met him.
We got to get him up here.
I used to talk to him all the time when he raced Hudson.
Yeah. So yeah, no, he's his own entity, and he's his own personality. But like I said, like it's hand in hand with like the podcast and obviously the racetracks. You have to have your own way of doing stuff and stuff like that. Like you said, you're doing new stuff, and like I said, it's everybody's gonna have their own niche. To be honest with you, and the biggest thing is just to try to get the next generation involved and get the community more involved.
And 100%.
That's where it starts. So
it's one of the things we do with this show.
Like, exactly. The more
sometimes
you do this,
we don't have. Randy looks at me today. He's like, "What are we talking about today?" I'm like, I don't know.
Hey, I just wanted to know because
me and Ben were on a man lift all afternoon fixing PA speakers at Hudson. Like we really
see we're doing good because I couldn't hear shit when I used to race there.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't hear
Ben lifts
nothing.
me up and we hook it up and it's blasting into my ear. I'm like, can we like maybe move slightly to the left?
Blasting redneck woman, and I'm going as slow as I can. Like, come on, this freaking hurts.
I'm like, this hurts my ear.
But but I asked that before because I wanted to see if it was just like how
Welcome, Hot Shoe 11M.
Nice.
perfect. That's if I had to guess, that would be Cody Parker, but I'm not sure. But like I was saying, where was I going with that? Now I just totally forgot.
Speakers, man.
Yeah. No, I asked what the schedule was because it was just like when we did it when we first started. There was no script, and that's the best thing about it. As long as and that's what makes Roughing Fenders what it is, and the other podcasts that are like that. Like we're unedited. If it's a shit show, it's a shit show. Yeah. Like you just make the best of it and stuff like that. But
at least that's the one thing I instilled in you from the get-go. I was like, "There's no second takes. It's live.
Yeah. Just make
like
it
you
run.
just roll.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to.
Yeah.
Matt's like any new stuff on Lee's Big Race. There's some new stuff.
You call me every day. Just ask me, and I'll tell you.
I gotta look at this comment section. Keep going.
The one of the things I'm looking forward to with Lee is some of the changes that are going on there. That backstretch wall is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I know John has been working diligently on a bunch of added value, I guess we would call it for your ticket price. Like there's going to be a bunch of new stuff that you will be able to do there. Gone are the days where your kid will show up and not have anything.
It's Bobby Melvin.
Oh, sorry, Mel. Sorry, Melvin. I apologize.
Gone are the days that like your kid, you're going to bring them to Lee and there's nothing for them to do there because there's going to be a nice little kid fan zone that's going in there. Ben's got some. Talk about the beer garden. What are you doing at the beer garden? You haven't even talked about it yet.
So this is kind of, I was going to wait till just. I don't really like to put stuff out online just because I like to see. Oh, sorry. My bad, Mark. Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Sorry. So awkward.
Never had a man whisper in my ear ever. Now I have.
Did it feel good?
Not really. Fucking made me feel a little bit uncomfortable. But we'll roll with the punches here.
So I don't usually like to announce what we're doing at the track. I like to just kind of make it a surprise. Just show up. Oh, dude, that's sick. So when you walk up to Lee in the grandstand or the main hallway or whatever underneath the bridge, you walk pretty much almost right to the beer garden.
Exactly. Every time I showed up.
Yep. Don't worry.
Randy's like, that's where I went everywhere.
We dusted off the seat.
I appreciate it.
So before there was what it was like a little tiki hut type of thing with a bar inside, and there was like a fence behind it, and then it was who's this?
Matt Sonhalter.
What's going on?
Yeah.
And then there was a shed with the storage and stuff. So, I was like, you know what? I like to use shipping containers for stuff because that's why I built the one at Hudson. I don't think you've seen it in a while, but
no, it's been like 3 years, but it's okay. We'll get there.
Yeah, you'll get there. So I mean, I want to use a shipping container because it's easier, it's more secure, and all that stuff. So Prime Warehouse and Prime Storage is building me a 40-foot beer container where half of it is where you get your beer and all those stuff. The other half is storage. But what I did was I added a staircase on the side for a sky deck. So now there's gonna be a 40-foot sky deck in the beer garden at Lee. So if you get there early, you're gonna want to get there for. So no, we don't have enough insurance to cover him for the pace car.
The funny part about that is John is sitting out at that dinner place.
Yeah, the hibachi place.
Watching this at dinner for his family, and he's watching this show right now.
He's probably sitting there with a sake gun.
The little guy peeing.
But that sky deck's gonna be big, and it'll put a whole new vantage point for the racers to enjoy. And that was the biggest thing. My thing was like when obviously it wasn't new news to that, but obviously I have to keep stuff under wrap to not do a disservice to you guys. But I was in John's ear. I was like, put it in the middle, like just do it. he's like, no, there's too much liability. I'm not gonna have someone run out there and grab beer cans every time or something like that. You know what I mean? So I understood it too.
It would be cool, but
man. It would be its own niche, you know what I mean?
It would be.
I've said this stuff for years, but you guys aren't the only one. I've tried to pitch this idea to everybody, so you guys aren't alone. But I think that's cool, and it'll give a new vantage point to everybody. Are you guys like doing like obviously there's going to be a certain amount that can sit up there, right?
Yeah.
Or is it like just straight steel and like everybody come up here?
Well, no, so what it is that, I mean, a storage container can hold 40 tons or something? That's stupid. Yeah. So, I mean, like, pretty much it'd be me and Mark the only ones that can go up there. But,
you guys watch us. It's really cool.
That's where the driver meeting is. Turn your generator off if you want to hear.
So, no, pretty much what it is, it's steel ribbed underneath, and then we used the decking material that we had left over at Hudson, which is like interlocking.
Gotcha.
And I mean, we drove, I think my Dodge Ram, the big black truck I have, drove right on it by an accident once.
Okay, perfect.
Well, not me, but the guy that had similar to that. Drove around, didn't bend it. So, I mean, how was that, 7,000 pounds, that truck?
You're talking about the decking.
The decking, it didn't even bend it.
Yeah, I drive across that decking at Hudson with my trailer every single time I park it.
Don't tell my dad that. He'll kill you.
Hey, Matt, I don't drive. I don't drive
and that's
that
why
at
we
all.
do the live show.
That was like,
actually, Matt's seen me do it.
Yeah, that was like someone mentioned online that I totaled the truck that my dad gave me. Like,
oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, and I'm like, seriously, but he never picked it up.
Well, now he did.
Well, he knows about it now. I told him.
Ben totaled the Dodge. Sorry.
No, it's not totaled. I'm driving right now.
You are now. You did total it. You fixed it before he saw it.
Yeah.
You did what any 18-year-old kid does when he borrowed dad's car and put a scratch in it.
I'm 36 years old and I'm still scared of my father half the time.
That phone call.
It'll always be there.
I get a phone call that was just random. I was like, guess what I just did? I was like, what? I ran my dad's truck into a tree. I was like, you did what?
I skimmed the tree, not ran into it. I skimmed it.
How much money was it to fix that truck for a skim? Yeah, let's discuss that.
It was like $6,500.
Yeah, and this is why Mark riles shit up and goes home.
Randy knows what I do. I've done this for years. I have fun. If you're not having fun doing this, why are you doing it?
No, exactly. And like, obviously, my podcast being the way it is and stuff like that, people have their stuff to say, and I just look by it. I'm just like, it's whatever. You know what I mean? Everybody's gonna have their own opinion, and I never. Even though, like, unless how many beers deep I am, I think I'm right. But at the same time, I totally get people will have different opinions, and you just got to look past it. But like I said, the fun will always be there. It's crazy until you get into the nitty gritty of racing. You can be a fan and all that stuff, and you can still get into the same loophole and stuff like that. But it's crazy how close racing is from north to south, and that's why we cover it, because a lot of people know each other, and you wouldn't even know that they knew each other. Like Cody Sabins that went and ran at Bristol, they gave me a call, and big shout out to Cody. I wish the axle didn't break. He was about to win the C main, rolling the top like he always did, cheating bastard. But anyway, he's a good shit. But they got a hold of me because the ECU got wet or something wouldn't happen. So I got a hold, and they were like, I'm looking for a hope and a prayer. So I got a hold of some Virginia people that are real close to Bristol. And I was like, you guys got any ECUs laying around? They're like, and one of my buddies, Dustin Connor, been friends with him for years. And I met him through Facebook, through racing and all that stuff. And he was like, yeah, I can make the trip down. I was like, all right, well, I'll let you know. He's like, all right, I'm headed down there anyway. So it's crazy how close everybody is from north to south. They won't even know you. And that's what I've ran into is like, we went down south and people knew me. And I'm like, all right, what's up?
All right, so what is the who is the strangest, not strange as in they're strange, but the out of the blue, out of left field, who's the person who follows your show that you kind of went like, really? That's cool.
Like meaning like in what? Like just in general?
Yeah,
like,
who listens to your show?
Like when I don't really like actually, there's a lot of people that I get like really surprised that do share the stuff. Like we had like Kenny Wallace share our stuff. We've had we just put out a video that we found on TikTok. TikTok's a big thing for racing. If you guys
we're on it
on TikTok, definitely go on TikTok. You find a lot of racing content, a lot of funny shit. And,
racing, I think we are Racing NH on TikTok.
One of the things is like we just shared a thing that was like a Dale Senior memorial thing that we shared on our podcast stuff, and like Dale Jr. actually like got in an entity, and hopefully he did buy the original painting, but like it was cool. But like people that like follow you, like mostly.
Randy and his McDonald's paint scheme on his illegal pure stuff.
All right, we ain't getting into this, Mr. Welded Diff. Yeah, I know it was called the McDonald's car for a while, but I
actually liked that.
It was different,
that was
man.
Definitely a different paint scheme.
Me and my old man looked at the back wall and we were like, what do we got? And we had like black and green. And I was like, no. I was like, we already did that stuff. We already did that. He's like, I got red and yellow, and I was like, all right, fuck it. Let's see what we can do with it. So I had a whole different like paint scheme for that, and he just did his own thing because that's what fathers do. I was like, fuck it, we'll just run it. But but going into it, like the weirdest thing is like I have mostly like we're asphalt driven, but we know a lot of dirt guys. A lot of dirt guys follow us, and it's crazy because they'll give me shit all the time and stuff like that. But like out in the open, or like if I'm at a racetrack or something, like I've had people just come up to me. Like we were at Darlington, and I think it was like the second year that we were ever doing a podcast, and this family just came up and we were like, "We know you," and I'm like, "Why do you know me?" You know what I mean? We're at the infield of Darlington. I was probably like 28 bush lights deep, and I was like, "Wow!" I was like, "It's crazy. It really is crazy how like tight knit community." And like when we went down to that South Carolina race, I don't know anybody from down south. I talked to people here and there, and like obviously I know like Boo Carlisle from Kicking Asphalt, Landon Huffman, all those guys, and like those are the big guys, and like Air Doug who like likes to stomp people's windshields in, and
he's a good follow, by the way.
He's a good shit, but like we'll go down there and people will just know who we are, and I'm like, awesome. I was like, that's cool. Like it's weird at the first point because as a person I feel bad because I don't know who you are, and like coming from a small town or coming from the Northeast, we know everybody that we cross paths with, we pretty much know them. But like when you go down south, it's crazy how big of a world it is and how fast like word travels. So
podcasts have a mind of their own.
Oh yeah, they do.
I mean, it's no secret. I've had the crime show now for years.
I was going to ask you if you're still doing that.
Yeah, every week, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, it's doing pretty good, man.
It does good. It's just I have so much on my plate. Trying to find another hour.
I don't help that situation.
Trying to find another hour or two every week to record. It just gets difficult sometimes. And my partner on that show, we can only record on Tuesdays because that's her only day off.
Yeah.
Because she owns a hair salon.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny because it's weird. You'll be out of the blue. Like I've seen people just randomly wearing my shirt, which is cool. But we have this weird contingency of people who follow us from England. We're like really huge in England who love our show. Like we ship so much merch to England on a regular basis. Australia too.
Really?
Yes.
What is that stuff in Australia that they do the demo thing? It's like you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've seen it.
You know what I mean?
They're trying to kill the driver.
They literally take pieces of frame out of their car. It's crazy.
What is going
These
on
guys
here?
are.
They try to crumple it as close as they can.
I'm
It's
trying to
like-
remember the name. Hopefully, someone can stock LSD. Yeah, fuck right off. Bullshit.
Check your phone. He put it on it. Somebody sent it to you.
What's it called?
Banger racing?
Yeah. Okay. So I was gonna say it was Bangers, but Banger Racing. A lot of those guys from like Australia and England and all that, they follow the podcast page.
You got to be nuts to do that too.
We shared one thing and we're getting shit talked, and I'm like, dude, I was like, it's just crazy that you guys do it. I don't think it's bad. I think you guys have more cojones than I would. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm like, Jesus. I was like, I looked at the rules one time because James being James, he was like, we need to go do that. I was like, I don't know if you noticed, but we don't have money to go to Australia or anything like this. And he like sent me the rules, and it was like, you got to like cut like your frame out of it or something like that. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I was like, you can go do it. I'll give you a car. That's okay. But
all right, I got Ben an idea right now.
Oh God, this is scary.
No, this is right up your alley, bud. Gourds, the mini pumpkins.
Yeah.
I bet those will fit inside that gun for Pumpkin Fest.
Oh, yeah, they will. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh yeah.
You need an ambulance to the infield. What happened? A gourd flew through the window and
exactly. Shoot
ripped
for
somebody's helmet in
Well,
half.
it's funny because Dennis, my tech guy, was going to build me a trebuchet for
Great.
it. So you can all the big ones just shoot them right over.
I did remember him saying that. I thought
Actually,
we forgot about that.
I'm an idiot. I don't know why I never thought of this. I have the man lift.
Yep.
You know what I'm going to do next year? I'm going to literally put it in the infield and just extend it 60 feet out right over the track, and I'm going to start dropping pumpkins on
There you go. That'd be a good idea.
That would be fun.
The lawsuits will be great, but you know.
Well, I mean, you got to push the envelope to make a little extra
Hey, you
noise.
know what? I mean, Cletus does the jumps over there at his track, and everyone
We used
does
to have
stuff.
rollover contests. Like, people just forget that we used to have rollover contests and stuff like that. Like, back in the day when I first started doing this, when I started racing, I was running in full cars with the airbags not even disconnected in the fucking flagpole race. Like,
Nowadays, we just have Blazers barrel roll down the front street.
exactly. I tell you what, when I
That
watched
came
that
up
video,
yesterday, by the way. I had somebody ask me for that video because it's been pulled down. I had to
that's
send it
just
to
I think
somebody.
it was on YouTube. It had like 100-some-odd-thousand
Yeah, a lot of
views. Like,
views.
holy shit!
It had 656,000 views on Facebook when we pulled it down.
Yeah, because it was
Whatever.
Yeah.
what'd you
whatever.
pull it down for?
It's an off-air discussion.
It wasn't us, put it that way.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Wasn't me.
We wanted to keep it on, but someone else didn't want it on. So
I bet I could.
Okay.
I bet I could guess who the fuck that was. But besides that, no, like I said, like, it's crazy how close racing is all around. Like, people pay attention to everything that you're doing. Obviously, like, for the like this pro stock race that you guys are doing, and like I was yelling at James this past weekend on our last episode that we did. It's been like 2 months since we'd done a podcast episode because life gets busy in the off season, and me and him were going back and forth and like what you guys are doing for that thing. And I said it on my podcast. It's big because we have the Midsummer Classic at White Mountain, which is getting bigger every year. I've never parked near that road in years, but the first time that I went there, I was out at the road. I was like, wow, this is a long walk with Boone. And then you have you have the Milk Bowl and all their big events. Then you have the Oxford 250, and now you guys are putting yourself on the map for that stuff. And like Classic Weekend at Star, everybody knows about Classic Weekend. And the more that we do, more.
Don't forget, we're bringing Big Block ISMA Super Modifieds to 2 tracks this year too.
Big Block ISMA is coming back, and but like that's the stuff that will put you on the map, because down south they have the Cars Tour, they have the Smart Tour.
Yep.
They have all these big marquee events, and that'll get the buzz going, and the more that you get it covered, because that's the biggest thing that I've seen, and a lot of people do it up here. They cover a lot of stuff up here. There's a lot of people that I can name off the top of my head that do it up here and stuff like that, but it's the same thing down south. Is like they have the marquee events, they have all that stuff, and then you have like the points racing in between, but everybody knows where the thing. So the pro stock race that you guys are doing and doing for that, like that's big, because like when you guys
it's exciting to see the legs hit, because you
exactly.
don't know. We talk about it. People that don't realize, we started working on this pro stock race the day Ben closed on the racetrack a year and a half ago is when the planning started
I'm not
for this
gonna lie,
race.
I am scared shitless on this race, because this is the biggest payoff I have ever done. This is the biggest event I've ever done, and frankly, I mean, I'm new to Lee still. I mean, I've gone there for years, but you know, running it and doing something this massive on this big a scale, I'm a small fish in the ocean right now. So
I get that, but like Lee used to be a pro stock track, and you talk to anybody, they knew it for pro stocks. Eddie Mack was whipping on everybody up there, and there was a lot of good battles. They had Dale Earnhardt, they had all these guys showing up NASCAR weekend and stuff like that. This isn't the first time that they had a big event and stuff like that. And to be honest with you, being a person on the outside looking in, I didn't know about the other side of it until we had a guy that runs Wake County. He took over Wake County, and he's like, you got to understand, like, they're paying out this much, then they got to pay out this, then they got to pay out that, and they need to make that money back, because at the end of the day, a racetrack isn't a fucking charity.
No.
So I was always blind to the fact, because I was always one person to be like, offer up more money. And then the biggest thing is like when you offer
I
up more.
I used to say that all the time.
I was always the same.
I
was the same way. I was like, offer up more money, offer up more incentive. I was like, I don't know how to get more people to get here. There's either got to be a big incentive or big names or whatever it is. And then when I talked to Charlie that runs Wake County, he was like, you got to understand, like they can like 110,000, correct? In total purse. That's not electricity. That's not
that's not the bonus.
Safety.
That's not if you take the.
That's not the police. That's not the fire. That's
exactly.
Not
that's not the ladder challenge.
The ladder challenge either. Oh, you didn't know about that?
No.
You can supersize your value up to $40,001 to win.
Yeah. So pretty much. So let's just say you enter, right? And you get the pole.
Okay.
So what I do is I come up to you and say, all right.
Oh, from the back.
Back to the front. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
You get an automatic 1,000 if you take it.
It's progressive, so now you lock in.
So it was like if you get to the middle of the pack, it's another $2,000.
Gotcha.
You get top 10, it's another $2,000.
Yeah.
You get top 5, it's another $2,000.
Caps out at 10,001.
Caps out at 10,001.
Yeah.
So even if you, because a lot of guys are like, why would I waste going to the back and not win the 30? Well, okay, let's say you do that.
Take that challenge, your payout's instantly $3,000.
Yeah.
I put money on it. And that's not to discredit anybody that's up here, but if Bubba gets the pole, he will do it.
Oh yeah,
I put money on it.
Well,
if there was betting,
there's got to be
betting.
I talked to a couple other people that I run that, like, yeah, we're gonna try it. We're gonna do that.
Perfect.
All right.
Exactly.
Next week's guest probably will take it.
Oh, I know.
100%.
I know one guy that'll definitely do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Is next week locked in? We can tell everybody.
Yeah.
Next weekend, guys, we have JT Cloutier on the show, and we also have Derek Griffith on the show next week. So next
Derek
week should be a fun.
Oh, yeah.
He did it last year too.
He did it last year. So, but like they have that at Bowman Gray. It was like you can start in the back. You get an extra $2,000 to do it. It's like for a big 100 race that they do there, and you can start from the back and go to the front. And they go to like I think it's like the top 3, and then the payouts right there. So, but like Jason Myers has done it, Burt Myers has done it.
Those Meyer boys, I love them.
They're I'm telling you, like Bert's a great dude, and
Jason's my favorite.
Same
out of
as
the two.
Jason, but it's yin and yang.
Yes.
Jason is absolutely he's awesome. And if you ever like cross paths with him, definitely give him a bottle of Sherwine. He'll love you. He'll talk your ear off after that. But like that stuff is like, I always was someone that was like, give up more money, do something like that. And like, but like I'm a low level guy. Like I ran Pure Stocks, but at the same time, Pure Stocks, we put all this we don't put as much money, but we do put all the money that we actually can. Yeah. I'm not going to take a loan out to go fucking racing. Some people will, I will never. But at the same time, like, I was always someone that was like more money, and then it didn't change until I talked to Charlie, and Charlie's like, "You're not fucking getting it." He's like, "Dude, like you guys got to make that money back somehow."
Lee is a city too.
It's massive.
It's amazing, like how much it costs just to open the door.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I could imagine with how Lee is, and like my girlfriend, Media Girl Media Girl Kyra. She's from Dover, and like I look at the houses there, and I was like, oh yeah, I couldn't do the shit that I do where I am here. Like, there's no way. So I totally get that, but I think that this event should be big, and like I said, you guys didn't put out everybody's name yet. There's still more people that will be coming out.
Always gotta keep it interesting.
Exactly. You always gotta do the build up and stuff like that, and like it's a big thing. And
it makes me mad, and I'll be honest with you, because I literally, and John does too, probably get 10 messages a week. Just tell us who everybody is now. It's like we're trying to promote this by doing them daily.
Well, that and how is it fair to the drivers that register for this? You know, they want to have a build up for, you know, they're registering to do so. Why? You know, okay, here's 10 people. Really? How fair is that to those 10 people?
No, I think it's cool because like that's what we do for like the podcast is like usually when we have like 2 people scheduled, we'll give them their own episode because it doesn't feel right to put 2 different racers on the same thing from 2 different states, 2 different anything that they're doing. So I totally get what you're doing. John yelled at me too, and I was like, I just need to know like who's gonna be there. I was trying to promote it the same way, and by the time like everything came out, I was like, I have no time to do it. So, but at the same time, I totally get it. You have to have the build up. You have to have the what's a good word for it? Like the movement behind it.
Exactly. Without that, you don't have any of it.
Exactly. No.
I'll tell you what. Right now,
what the hell are you looking at?
I pulling up different information over here. You talk about trying things off the bat. So first year that Ben owns Claremont, it will be this year. As a wholly, it's yours now.
Yeah, it's fully mine.
Ben says, let's kick off the weekend with 15 divisions of racing over the course of 2 days at the Spring Fling.
Put it this way, I was nudged to do that. We'll put it that way. I was nudged to do it. I'm like, okay.
Day 1, guys, 4/16, 4/26, right around the corner.
It is because
right around
I'm
the
trying
corner
to like do a calendar right now, and
Sportsman Modifieds. Axe style late models, Outlaws, Super Streets, Mini Stocks, 6-shooters, Pure Stocks, Ridge Runners. Day 1. And now that's not saying anything because day 2, Ace Tex Tire and Auto Modified 77 laps, $3,000 to win right off the bat. R.E. Hinckley Super Streets Summer 6-pack Series first event, $1,000 to win. Moving into the 6-shooters, Pure Stocks, Dwarf Cars, Pro V8 Sportsman's. Jimmy D will be over there with his crew.
Will be there.
And 603 Mini Cups will be over there as well. And the Summer 6-pack Series, that's something that's... See, these are the things that we're trying to do right here. We're trying to do new stuff that we haven't done. So this Summer 6-pack Series is going to play off of all the different tracks. We've tried it before, and we noticed that it failed because somebody missed something. So that's why we added the drop race to all the stuff that we're doing this year. And I literally have that flyer
What's
right
the
here.
full name of that?
It is the Summer 6-pack Series.
That's it?
Yep.
There wasn't more to that?
Nope. That's it.
I had
Really?
the thing right here.
I thought there was more to that. I thought it was like what
No, well, we were trying to get a sponsor for it, for like a big name sponsor on it, but they didn't want to do it. So like, hey, screw it. We'll just keep it the Summer 6-pack Series.
No, I get that. So like Super Streets, right? That's what the
Super Street Division Summer 6-pack Series.
Summer 6-pack Series Super Streets.
Kicking it off at Claremont Motorsports
When I first heard about it, I was like, dude, if I was like 6 beers in the deep, I couldn't say that 3 times fast. You know what I mean? So I was like, that thing's, but that's cool. And like the 6-pack Series is like, that's cool. It's like,
the logo is a case of beer. I mean, a 6-pack of beer.
Do they get beer? They win?
I mean,
if they drink, I guess, yeah. They get a free
you have to be very careful
if they can catch it.
You have to be very careful when it comes to giving away alcohol and stuff like that.
I get it.
We're going to kick that off at Claremont Motorsports Park on the 28th of April, moving over to Hudson on the 2nd of June, back to Claremont June 14th, Lee USA Speedway getting their first event on July 26th, and then August 25th at Hudson, and then over the course of the Oktoberfest, there'll be the final. And one of the cool things this year that you're going to see is there's going to be a lot of themed stuff. And not only that, gone are the days that we're just going to do like, here's your plaque or here's your this. There are some really, really detailed, cool trophies that will be given out this year.
Like Randy said, you got the younger generation want to come in, but you also got to keep it too. Is that you got to keep it fun and interesting for younger generations to do this, and for regular people to do it. So that's why the Esplanade was the one that kind of pushed the theme for each one.
Exactly.
And I mean, what we have in store is pretty cool.
Yeah, like going back to the trophies part, like you have the Alabama race, which is the rattlesnake, and you get a whole thing, and then you get a snow globe at the snowball derby, and it's all about themed stuff.
Yep.
Like if you're a racer and you win at Lee, just take your picture and then give your trophy to one of the kids in the stands. All right, we totally understand. But
one of the things with these trophies that we're trying to do, not only with them being cool, everybody's got a million of 2 posters, 3 posters, plaques. We want something that people are going to display.
Exactly, like
something really cool.
So like that's a good. That's a good example of it. Is like other races that we have up here is like Oxford 250. You have the Milk Bowl, which is literally a whole milk bowl, and and you get your name etched in something, and like
you got to drink milk. Lactose intolerant. Sorry, I'll never win the milk bowl.
Kiss a cow though. Like if you win it, ask Stephen Donahue. He fucking lip locked that son of a bitch. But
I wonder how many of those the showstopper would have won if he didn't quit racing.
One day he will come back and show us how Penske Reds go.
I know.
Might be this year at least.
I hope he just finds out where the cap lock button is.
I love when somebody.
That's never gonna happen.
The best part about this whole thing is when somebody responds to him in all caps, and he writes back in all caps, "Take your caps locks off. Writing in caps is rude."
He's a good shit. He's a good shit. Even though he bounced checks all his life, he's a good shit.
Real quick, this Sunday I've checked the forecast. No rain.
Thank God.
Hudson Speedway practice, guys. First practice of the year. Got another practice on the 21st, and then we are jumping right into action May 5th. R&R Open Street Stocks. That is going to be awesome.
That's going to be, because I love Hudson, and I cut my teeth at Hudson. My dad did the same thing, and it's the coolest bull ring that we have out here.
It scares me a couple times.
My dad, yeah. A lot of people have said that. There's no denying like him and Shane Dillon and all those guys, and Pat Floyd. They used to put on some definitely different enduros out there. Yeah. But at the same time, Hudson is its own little bull ring, and I've always loved it. And like throughout the years, people are like, it's a rough track. I was like, it is, but that's what it gives its grit, and like
it's cool.
It's its own grit, and racing is built off of that. It's like its own. How I look at it is like it's its own thing. Like Lee's its own thing, Claremont's its own thing. All these tracks around, they have their own thing. Hudson it's a gritty fucking track. They're gonna do the best to fill in every hole, because like 3 and 4, I'm not gonna lie, like I used to set up my car to hit the hole in 3 and 4, so it'd pitch out good. Monadnock, I would just knock the wall down. So it was just, everything had its own identity. But like,
that's what I did at Lee's, try to knock the wall down.
Like off air, I was like, I've hit the backstretch a ton of times at Lee. Just all of a sudden, you just wash out. But I love Hudson, and like that street stock race is like is gonna be really good there, and at the same time, like I said, it has its own grit, and like street stocks was the biggest thing in Hudson for a while, and like obviously you had the Bud Lights and all that stuff, the short track stuff. It was definitely a real rugged bull ring. You know what I mean? Everybody like we did the shop tour stuff, and everybody cut their teeth first at Hudson and then went and did their own thing somewhere else. You know what I mean? So I think that race is going to be very action packed, and definitely comers and goers there.
I believe that's the Carl Torone 49 as well. So that's going to be, and I did see Kevin Brown, the aforementioned Kevin Brown, original wheelman, stepped up to pay out a little more to the divisions, to the cars in that division.
Exactly, and like God rest his soul, Carl Tyrone, he was his own person. That's why I love racing. Everybody is their own character, you know what I mean? And he was cool. He was.
I've said for years, so I have to use the racers that I know. So like these are like I didn't know who Pete Fiandaca was. I don't know any of Dave Dion. I literally was a broke kid who grew up in Claremont who only thought of Claremont. I only thought Claremont existed. I didn't realize there was more tracks.
Now you get my point. Is like everybody had their own thing, and it's the same way. It's just everything's more fluid because we have social media before that. But before we had podcasts and social media, we had racer forums.
For every
you put me on that.
It's like,
same with Bobby Melvin. Like
at Claremont, there used to be Racers Board.
Yeah.
Like we used to. That was a Nate Kelly board that we used to use all the time. So for every Peter Daniels, you also need a Pearl Dewey. Like every one of these characters play into that race.
Exactly.
Whether it's the guy who spins out 19 times, like you need every one of those people. That's what builds those divisions.
You gonna allow him to spin out by himself 19 times, Ben?
I'm not the race director. I'm gonna just make sure the show's rolling.
I get your point, though. Yeah.
Ben has really taken a step back this year. He's hired some good general managers, and we're gonna see what happens. He really has taken a step back, and we're growing. We're concentrating on TV. This is what we're doing. A lot of the TV stuff that we're doing. You guys just
did announce that Roku stuff, which is going to be pretty big, and that's going to put your guys' stuff on a different platform as it is, like Pit Row TV and stuff like that. And like people are going to tune into that stuff. It's big, and like to give your flowers, Mark, as a phrase of like giving you your praise and stuff like that. You've done a masterful job of doing this stuff. Even if who's the guy that said he was going to cut your head off?
I can't remember. Your dad threatened to run me over.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. So my dad, and then oh man, what's his name?
I'm trying to think. Who threatened to cut your head?
He's like you won't think I'm funny until
I can't remember who that was.
It was he's with. Oh my God! Why am I drawing?
That's an off-air conversation, probably.
No, you were on here saying about it. Yeah, you were in the trailer and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember who it was.
All the time.
Yes.
Anyways,
that's gonna bother me because I don't know who the hell you're talking about.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I know.
Ben's gonna call me at 1:45 in the morning. It was this guy. Nobody beats Rob Wilcox body slamming Pat Floyd in turn 4. See, I didn't know of any of this stuff.
That's a good guy that you got to get on. Pat Floyd is still around.
I don't know who these people are.
I'm telling you, if you get Pat Floyd on, that a lot of people will relive what Hudson was back in the 90s, because Pat Floyd was, and like Mike Whedon and all these guys, like you might not know him, but...
Well, Rob Wilcox, that's Milton's grandfather, right?
Yes.
Okay, thought so.
Yeah, my dad used to work for him, take cars off his lot, go wreck them at Hudson.
Oh, that's so funny.
It's crazy how much of a full circle racing is, and but like at the same time, like you have all those memories and stuff like that. But like you said, you have your own. You have your own atmosphere of racing. Is like Claremont. Claremont had their big names.
Yeah.
Hudson had their big names. Lee had their big names.
It's funny because I feel the same way about everybody else. So they come to Claremont and they're like, "This track is weird." So for me, that's all I knew. I thought every turn 1 and 2 was supposed to be 7 corners. Like that's what I grew up with.
Yeah, I know.
So the first time I came to Hudson, Steve Dickey offered me back in 19.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "Hey, why don't you come take pictures here?" And I was like, all right, cool. And I walked into Hudson for the first time, and I was like, what is this backwoods, weird place? And then I was like, this place is the coolest place I've ever been to. It has its own, like, atmosphere there.
Was it 19 or 18?
May have been 18.
It wasn't that the time that No, that was 2020 when I got third. That was when I first met you, because you were a photographer.
Yep, I was there for a year and a half or two before that.
Yeah.
So we all have to thank Dickey. That's who got me involved with Ben originally was Steve Dickey.
Well, I remember up at Claremont.
We met at Claremont.
You want to take some pictures? And I wish I could. I'm like, I popped the gate open. There's like this little
go in. I'm like, am I going to get thrown out? Ben's like, I own the place. Just go. And I'm like, oh,
we can't get in trouble. Don't worry about it. You're fine.
I do. And this came up the other day with my girlfriend. She's like, do you ever just miss being able to go out with a camera? And I do. Because I'm more of a photographer than a video guy or a producer or any of that stuff. I do. and I really missed it. So I actually I had my whole bag packed for Florida with a camera and all that, and I was like, last minute, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm just gonna go enjoy it. It's just now it's one thing I have to walk around and deal with, and where's my camera? Where's this? And it's just, I do miss it. And I remember the day I walked into Hudson, and they always call it the high banks of this and the high banks of that. The first time I stood the entire day in Hudson, and you're on your feet for 4 or 5 hours in the infield.
Yeah.
And then just to walk out of the infield up that little road, I was like, wow, I am way out of, and I wasn't out of shape back then.
Yeah.
I'm like, this track is really banked. And watching the stuff that happens there and the cast of characters, like Oscar Leclerc, I didn't even know this guy existed.
Oh, yeah, he's
Caveman. Like, this whole group of people.
That's who it was. Caveman.
Oh, yes. That's, yes,
it was Caveman. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, remember Caveman was mad, and we can never tell if he's mad or real mad.
Oh, yeah,
and he kept walking by the tower, flipping us off.
That's right, yeah.
And, like, Espinette looks at me, he's like, I don't know if he's mad or not. I'm like, I'm assuming he is. So I love Caveman.
I got to find a picture. There's someone sent me this. I think it was Dickie.
Is it the one I made it and sent it to Dickie? It's him holding Kenny. I made that like 4 years ago.
I think I still have it. Hold on. It's awesome.
I never released it to the public because it was back in the time of COVID and his mask was down. But Dickie, this is probably one of my original best Photoshops of all time. I remember saying to Caveman one day, I'm like, I never know if you're mad or you're not. He's like, honestly, I don't either.
At least he's honest. He's always been honest.
I'm like, okay.
But back to your point, like,
I showed him that one in person.
This is bad.
But it's like you said, well, like with the photograph stuff is like Kyra that we brought on that does like that helps us out with our podcast. Like she's a photograph person, and like I'll be there and I'm like, can you take a little bit of a video? And she's like, yeah, I got you. And then there'll be like 400 photos and like 3 videos. I'm like, all right, it was close. You did try your best, but she's the same way. She absolutely enjoys doing that stuff. And she's definitely a big part in how we do stuff. Like this past year, we definitely grown better with the media content and stuff like that just by her helping with her camera. And like,
yeah,
but like
having somebody that's able to capture that kind of stuff is awesome.
Exactly. And
I tried stealing her from you. I actually texted you. I was like, hey, she want to use a camera somewhere?
I told her, I was like, if people, because I'm not going to.
That's it right there. That's it. Cabin in the Woods. You have to zoom into the actual thing.
If you look at the picture.
Like I texture match their clothes and everything.
Dude, that's a pretty good Photoshop there, but
it's probably one of my best ones. But it can never be released either.
No,
that's the worst part about it. It was a great one.
Those are the good ones, but
we got about 9 billion of them.
But I told her when she did that first year, like she had a lot of offers from other tracks because I brought her there, and I was like, here's a vest, go sit in the middle. If you want to go sit in the middle, go sit wherever you want. I've talked to everybody. You're good to go wherever you need to go. Obviously with the podcast and like you and many others that have offered her stuff, and I was like, you can do it. Like full range, go do whatever you want to do. Like she loves like photography, and I look up to it because that takes one less thing that I have to do while I'm there to figure out what's going on. I got to pay attention to every race. I got to make sure what happens and all that so I can cover it on the podcast, but also put out stuff for people to enjoy, videos to enjoy and stuff like that. So even if you did, I would have been like, awesome, I'm right back to where I was. But at the same time, she enjoys it. And like when I first met her, she's like, I love photography. And I was like, boy, do I have the fucking sport for you. You know what I mean? So like, just to give her flowers on that stuff, I appreciate everything that she's ever done for obviously my podcast and helping out with my son and doing all that stuff. So
what's on the horizon for you this year with the podcast?
This year, man, with the podcast, like we tried to do the with the shop tour, like going to see everybody, but also
it's hard when you don't know their internet.
Yeah,
you don't know all this stuff.
That's the biggest thing is the internet thing, because I don't want to go to someone's thing. I want them to have the live, and I want them to have the time to talk to everybody on the Facebook thing, because right now we're close to 8,500 people that do follow us, and I appreciate everybody that's done it and doing that stuff, and I appreciate see, definitely subscribe as well here. But like, I wouldn't have done this without your help. You know what I mean? And on the horizon, like, it's hard to figure out like how people's internet is, and I want to give them the time because they deserve that, because they're out there busting their ass just like everybody else out there.
That's why when you posted online, you're like, what about Starlink? What about this? And I was like, I've done all this.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I know what works, what doesn't. So we, on our trailer.
So we have Starlink.
The RaceDayTV trailer has 3 sources of internet itself.
Yeah.
And then we use the tracks.
Yeah.
So we have a PEP link, it's called. So basically I can take multiple internet services and then run them as one. Which sounds like it's super easy, but there's IP addresses, DNS issues. Like, you need to know how to network.
Way above my pay grade.
Yeah, I'll just bring Mark.
I plug a fiber optic line from my trailer into the tower, and it gets me all my feeds.
Exactly. And but like on the horizon, like we did the shop tour with the people that we did, and obviously towards the end I was like, I can't do this to people because it doesn't seem fair to go out and see people that do have internet and then have people sitting there, and I'm like, well, I don't know how to get you out there because I want you to do it. So we have to figure that out. We'll obviously brainstorm while the race season goes, but we're just
site visits. So that's like whenever I take on a new track. So like the first time we went and did Seekonk, like I went and spent 2 days down there running wire, checking things, making sure speed tests will have enough, you know, because everyone's like, oh, I have great internet. It's down, 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 down. Like, we got 1 gig down. I don't care about down. I don't use down the entire time. I use up.
Yeah.
And most internets have 8 up.
Yeah.
Well, the HD and 4K that we shoot out of our cameras, I need 25.
Yeah.
So like I need 30 actually, because I need fallback.
Yeah.
And then you get people like wondering why it doesn't work, because internet isn't as simple as people think it is.
And to give my apologies to Racing America for how much shit I've given you. That's another thing that I figured out is like it's harder than it looks, and like the people that do the live shows and do that stuff, like, you guys got to understand, like, the broadcast might suck sometimes, but it's not Racing America's thing. It's not Flo's thing. It's not the tracks thing. It's just how it is sometimes. But like on the Horizon thing, we're just going to pop around to every tracks. Like I said, we just got paroled by Ben, so we're on good behavior. No, but in all honesty, I do appreciate you having me come back and all that stuff, because I cut my teeth at those tracks that I did support. And that's why I had such a vendetta when I first started, because I was like, I'm going to every fucking track you guys want me to. And nothing's going on that I brought up, and obviously I just had to get over it and obviously have a new leaf about it. And like I said, I apologize for what I've done, but at the same time, there was sometimes funny moments.
I should apologize too on the shit I did too. So
I get it, and I didn't take it to heart because I knew.
I apologize for nothing. Screw all of you.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, I understood where you were coming from with your stuff, because you have a brand, you have a thing that you. So when I got the letters, I just chuckled and I was like, yeah, I figured this was coming. But at the same time, I understood where
the switchers left over.
The what?
Any of the switchers?
I can make them real quick. I still have it saved, buddy. I still have it saved, but at the same time,
I don't remember what sweater this.
The circus.
It was the circus.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I was like, you want to know how to get banned from fucking 4 tracks real quick? This is how you do it. But I still have it saved. But at the same time, like, I respected what you did, and I just wanted to get my point across. Once I did, and I got the letters, I was like, all right, we're good. And then we went back and forth about it. But at the same time, I appreciate you guys having me come back. But we're going everywhere that we possibly can this year. I'm gonna bring my son to every track that I possibly can, because
are you locking it down for Pro Stock Nationals at Lee?
Oh, we'll be there.
Okay,
100%. Like Kyra's DD, so we'll be there either way. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I wouldn't promote it as hard as I have been doing it if I wasn't going to be there, because I think it's a big thing. Because I knew Lee as a Pro Stock track, and it's always, to me, with the Bud Lights and having Dale Earnhardt race there and all the big name guys. They were running Busch North cars and stuff like that there, and
one of the things that is it's not ready for this year. I just don't. There's not enough. We don't have enough of a crew yet. We're going into year 2 of RaceDayTV. Actually, year 1 of RaceDayTV of us on our own.
Yep.
and a lot of things we're trying to figure out. One of the things that I want to do, and it's on the horizon, is pre-race show.
Hold on. Templeton, go fuck yourself. All right? I need to apologize for the stuff I do because that's
And if you notice,
thing to do.
Right, don't rain on our fucking bromance, asshole.
Yeah,
okay?
exactly.
if you listen, I didn't apologize for anything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Mark's still a fucking asshole, but
I never claimed to be anything more. I'm just very passionate about everything that we do. And
exactly.
one of the things that I'm looking to do next year is pre-race shows. Not for every race, but for the big events, the Pro Stock Nationals, you know, the big events at Hudson, Claremont. The problem is now I got to find 3 more camera operators. I got to find talent to be able to do the show, because if you haven't seen me on race day, there's nothing I can add to this day.
Nervous wreck.
No, I have a billion. I'm running cameras, running cables.
Reach out to, and I'm not, do not even bring me on to it, because while I'm at Pro Stock Nationals, I'm not going to be incoherent here. But definitely
He's gonna be the first one hanging over the sky deck.
No. I'm all set with heights, but at the same time, definitely reach out to like podcast people, because like this is just a start, and like obviously everybody has their own thing, but like that's definitely something to look into, because there's a lot of podcasts that do share like that do this stuff, and like I said, I'm not putting myself out there because I'm all set. I go to the racetrack, I go have fun.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, like there's a lot of people that will do that stuff, and like what you're trying to do is, well, not what you're trying to do, but what you are doing, like the pre-race shows, that will be pretty cool, because like you have the bull ring on Race in America.
We bring the talent right in. We're going to do it right there on the site.
Right there, and you just drag them right in by their ankles, and you tell them to sit in the chair.
There will be some added live broadcasts at Lee for the Pro Stock Nationals. There'll be some other stuff that's going to be televised that's not racing. So buckle up, stay tuned. A lot of cool things coming up for this race. A lot of moving parts.
Yes, a lot of moving parts.
And like I said, like you guys do a lot of work, and every podcast, everybody that does social media, they do a lot of work behind the scenes that people don't see. And like that's why I did like the going to their shop and stuff like that. Like you guys see the finished product when it comes off the trailer. You don't see where they cut their teeth in that.
It's cool to see where some of these people actually work on their car set.
One bay garage or a barn right underneath their house that do it right there. You know what I mean?
A lot of dirt floor guys.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people that lay on the ground just
when
like
I raced,
I
I never took my car off the trailer. I'd come home wrecked if I wrecked it on a Friday night, it would get fixed on the trailer. I didn't have a garage.
Exactly.
It's weird. Back then, I had all the time in the world, but I had no money. Now I have money. I just don't have any time.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just like it's hit or miss. So when you find these people that can get both of those together and figure it out, like it's good to see. What I love the most out of everybody is when you see teams that they still exist. They make their parts. They figure stuff out. They pull things together.
Of course,
that you wouldn't believe.
They don't sell cheetah parts. You got to make them,
right? Just to see this year.
Hey, just to see CNC machinist for shits and giggles.
Just to see this year that little Aaron is getting an outlaw back together.
Yeah, after everything that did just happen over there, like
more. Stay tuned. I was sworn to secrecy, but stay tuned. There's somebody else from that clan that will be thrown back into the ring this year. Yeah, there's a guy who dies upstairs all the time and falls on the floor.
It's like they're fucking sumo wrestling up there. Anyway,
all day, all night.
The more content you put out, the more eyes will get on it, and like that's what I figured out with the podcast stuff. The more content that you put out, was there a comment? I saw your finger.
Yeah, no. So Angie Bolduck, yes, Pro V8s can practice. Pretty much the practice on Sunday. Any car can show up.
Open.
It's an open practice.
Yeah.
So if you run a 350 Super, you want to run an Enduro car, you're more than welcome to.
But like what I'm saying, the more content that you put out, the more people that you have eyes on, like that put eyes on what you're doing.
It's funny what hits though. It's funny what hits and what takes off.
Like I said, that's what Roughing Fenders Podcast has lived off of, is the controversy, the grittiness of racing, because everybody can have a mom and pop podcast and all that stuff, which is nothing like that, and you guys can run it how it is, but I always knew racing as this. Like I want people to feel like they're in the shop talking with the people that like when they came off the track. And obviously, I'm not going to put a mic in their face when they come off the track, but you get my point. You'll still get the grittiness.
Stay tuned. We're adding a second mobile camera to do just that this year.
I'm telling you. So, Racing America.
You just hit the wall. Tell us about it.
Yeah. I'm telling you. Yeah, exactly. Racing America. The first time I saw it was Racing America doing it at Dillon Motor Speedway when they had that halfway break, and the sound bites were just sold it right there.
My favorite
I love it.
Was Freedom Factory. Harmon gets dumped, and they had that guy roll out on the thing with a camera to Harmon, of all people, right in his face. And I was like, this is not going to end well.
Yeah,
this was absolutely great.
But like I said, the more content that you put out, the more eyes that you'll have on it. It's crazy the numbers that these podcasts do because like behind the scenes, like we can see that as a dashboard on Facebook, which is crazy. And like the amount of people that we've reached or had the eyeballs on stuff that we've done, it's crazy. But like the pre-race shows and everything like that, the questions, everything, the grittiness, definitely don't skip out on that.
No.
And that's why I've always stayed explicit, because I don't want to lose the passion of people. Like, you can be your own person. That's what I tell everybody. But if you feel this certain way, don't feel like you have to suppress it at all. You know what I mean? That's I don't want people to feel like that, because half of this thing is like racing is passion, and passion is going to come out whether you want it or not. These guys all, from the bottom to the top, they all wear their patch on their sleeve at the same time. So
did you see these last couple people registered? Don't say them, but so to answer the question that just came through was 44 names so far, 44 registered for the Pro Stock Nationals. That's a pretty good one. Yeah. Right here.
Hold on, let me see.
Right here.
Hold on, I won't say anything.
Just don't say anything.
I won't. Wait, okay, which one am I looking at?
The second one down.
Third, second, fourth,
and what?
Like sixth, maybe. Just look at the names that you can see there. There's some
pretty. You're gonna have people, showing up.
Oh yeah.
44 so far registered in. Like I said, that's only the ones that have registered so far. There's still more.
So that's a big question, and hopefully I'll share this to James after I get off of here. What are you guys doing for the day of? What is there going to be? Just the people can sign up the day of, and like obviously you'll have those late bloomers that like fuck it, we'll go. You know what I mean?
There happens to be other pro stock races in the area that weekend.
Yeah.
Who knows who's going to migrate over to our track a day before?
We'll leave that alone. Anyways, I get your point.
You never know. Well, some of ours are going there too.
No, not saying what you're saying.
Yeah.
The whole anything.
I get what you're saying.
The whole thing about it is like,
show up and race wherever you want. Have some fun.
Exactly, but at the same time, like, you got to give. Like, I just saw it down south. They just canceled 2 races because they contradict each other. You got to figure that out, and hopefully there's a day that everybody can put a thing together where I know some races contradict, but if it's a marquee event.
Here's one of the things that we tried really hard. We tried to not schedule against ourselves in other local tracks.
Exactly.
We had to schedule against ourselves twice. Like there's only so many Fridays, weekends. Saturdays, and Sundays in the summer. Yeah. So we've had to do it to ourselves a couple of times, which is not going to be ideal, because a lot of that equipment now travels. Like the whole PA system travels track to track to track. So I have to figure something out at Claremont for the race where I won't be there, and I have to figure out something at Hudson for the race I won't be there. The new PA systems guys, those who were in attendance for the St. Valentine's Day Massacre at Claremont, they got to hear it. And Ben got to hear it today. And then he made me hear it 2 inches away from the speaker for way longer than he probably should have. Sounds great. Like a lot of money's been put into, I mean, you're not going to hear the cars when they're going around full tilt. You're going to hear them now, though. That's all I have. Like we went way over. Actually,
we went over.
We were having fun. Yeah. To answer somebody asked the question, or no, more basically.
Dan, if you want to drive the pace car, you're more than welcome to drive the
pace car. He probably stopped listening.
Can I sit in the back seat for that?
That's fine. Actually, you know what I just picked up too? I picked up 2 ride-along cars too.
You haven't even talked about that yet.
What do you mean ride-along cars?
Well, they're old Pro Stocks with 2 seats in them.
See, that's what I mean. You get these people involved. Like they used to have that. They do that stuff at.
They're right around the corner, actually.
Yeah, but they do. That's what they used to do. They used to bring kids out. They go for a ride and all of it, obviously, and they get to see the track. They get to sit on the track. the more you do that, Ben, the more you're going to have people come back to it. We had, like I said, I hit it a little bit later, earlier in the show. I was like the rollover contest and stuff like that. People would show up for that flagpole races. I get why you pulled it to only one event and all that stuff because it's a liability thing, but like that's what people do. But you have to sub that for something else. So if you have the ride-alongs, if you have that stuff, but like I said, I want like the more that you get the crowd involved
with the crowd,
exactly,
the more people want to go because what's going to happen is the kid, you know, do you want to go this way? Like the way Bob Weber used to do it, with the spectators. You want to go this way or that way or whatever. Yeah. People would love it because now they're involved.
Yeah, exactly. That's the biggest thing.
Where do you want the huge pile of pumpkins dumped? Everywhere's? Absolutely.
No, exactly. But that's a cool thing that you guys are adding to this because the ride-along thing is going to be big because I remember my dad used to do that for Hudson back in the day and stuff like that. And
these are pretty cool cars too.
Yeah, exactly. And
a lot of people have actually probably driven in these because these are the old. We can see where they came from, right? Yeah. They were Thompson's old ride-along cars.
Yeah,
exactly.
The driving school down there.
So. Like as long as you get those people out there, that's how you get people involved. And to give Star their credit, they have the junkyard dogs, which is you go get like. There will be a time that I can find time to put a car together and I will put someone out there. I don't care if you wreck it. I'll find another car. You know what I mean? I just want to get people involved with this stuff. And the more that you do, racers, do your part. Any way that you can do any drives. You can do anything that helps out the community. You can go into the stands and give your trophy away because you have a shit ton at home. If it's a big event, I get it. But
I never had one.
But if it's, go give Mark one. He might become, he might get back in the seat again.
I've had a couple. So I've had a couple given to me. I think Jeffrey Pike. It was Jeffrey Pike. Might have been somebody else. Gave me a mini one. Yeah. That used to sit on my old desk. And then
I gave you one.
You gave me one. Yeah. Ben's like, I got a lot of these. You can have this, loser.
No, I don't have any really.
but like racers, do your part. Give these people trophies or anything. It doesn't have to be kids. It can be a full-grown man. You know what I mean? It just whatever gets the thing. Definitely get the kids involved. The ride-alongs will do that.
I can't wait to see Bubba Pollard at least.
Yes. Exactly.
Scott just said that too.
I'm in the Philippines.
What?
See, that's cool.
Yeah.
To read the comments, Templeton, you still cheat. Bobby Melvin saying this. Seeing the three of you together laughing is great, which is honestly, I'm humble for this event. Like people can have their own views on what I'm doing now, and like I said, I'm turning a new leaf. I'm trying to get everything because racing is steady and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. But I'm not trying to be the reason that it fucking does go away because
I've never So let's finish that right here because people say that I've never disliked you. I've always liked Randy.
No,
we've always got along. Randy knew what he did to me.
Yeah,
I know what I did to Randy. And we had a pissing contest, and we're just both stubborn people. It is what it is. And I called Randy up, and I said, hey, it's time to have a chat. Things are changing. I would like you to be involved in some way, somehow. What can we do?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how this all us MFing everybody every single week, what does that do for anybody? Nothing.
No, I get that point.
I enjoy racing. We're talking about racing now. Kind of to expand on what you said real quick with the trophies. You don't know what you do as a racer that can change somebody's life.
Exactly. It's
Ernie Boudreau used to let me hang out in his garage from like 8 years old, maybe 7. All the way up till like 16, I would hang out in Ernie Boudreau's garage.
And that was the biggest thing with me.
Drive him nuts.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, Ernie in the back of his head understood that he was having a new fan coming to this stuff. And like what you've done from then on to here, it's a big thing as it is. And like, if you guys do have kids that are around and your shop is open to anybody, have these kids come in and hand you beers if you have to, but that's a joke. Have them help you out with stuff. Get whatever that gets their mind involved. You know what I mean? And like that's what my dad used to do, was make me tear shit apart and put it back together. And it definitely didn't fire after I put it back together, but he helped me figure it out.
My dad did all that too, but yelled at me the entire time.
Exactly.
My dad would throw wrenches at me.
I just noticed something really freaky.
What?
Everybody look over Randy's head. There's a guy smoking a cigarette.
Oh yeah,
in the picture behind Randy's head. Like
so
it just
right
hit
in the
me
doorway.
right there, right in the doorway.
Oh, there he is. Yeah.
Like, what is going on here? I randomly bought that backdrop on Amazon for like $9. Now I know why.
But going back to the thing, I think it's cool what you guys are doing. I appreciate you guys having me come back. I smoothed stuff over with obviously Monadnock too, and like I said, I'm trying to turn a new leaf, but at the same time, it's going to be uncut, and obviously there's going to be transparency with it. I give you guys the benefit of the doubt now than coming at your throat. And Ben, I apologize for always doing that, but
it's all right.
I definitely enjoyed the pissing contest that we did have, but
no, I'm sorry. I think the best pissing contest I think I've ever seen you a part of.
I know what you're going to say, Derek's.
What?
Okay, you're not going to say.
no.
Billy Van Meter?
That's my favorite one.
That was good too.
Fucking
but no,
pardon
I
me.
turn left now.
This person is no longer involved in racing. We'll put it that way.
We'll have to talk about this off air. I don't know who.
But that was the best one I think I've ever seen you do. And I was like,
I'm not.
I know. I know.
I'm not afraid of. Obviously, Ben knows. Everybody knows that I'm not afraid of conflict or anything like that. And like, if you guys had anything to say about anything that I've ever said, you guys can come and see me about it, and we'll talk it out or figure it out from there. But at the same time, I will still right my wrongs. I still will apologize for the stuff, but I still will not enjoy the piston contest that we did have. You know what I mean?
still apologize for
Fuck
nothing.
it, you still owe me $1,000 because you put it up for $1,000. It was definitely worth way more than that.
What did I do?
You put up my license for $1,000.
$1,000.
Oh, yeah.
But it's all water under the bridge. Like
You really made me mad that day.
I know. But it's all love, Mark. I appreciate everything that you have done. I appreciate everybody that has stuck with my podcast, and everybody that does help out and support my stuff. I'm here to support you guys any way that I possibly can. Real quick. So you guys have 3 tracks, correct?
Correct.
How many people are running 2 tracks for a championship?
Oh, we got a good
Quite
amount.
a few.
All right, cool. So here's this. So for the Roughing Fenders podcast, because I want to announce this here, and I just remembered it after my 3rd beer. I'm pretty tuned up. If you guys win, because we did this with Brandon Gray, and he was really close. If any of you win 2 track championships in the same year, I will get your number and your name tattooed on me. And as you guys see, I'm not afraid of tattoos. So if you guys do that, I'll put you on me. So, and we'll do something like that.
We are not going to do that.
Yeah, that's okay. But I wanted to do it for Brandon Gray because Brandon Gray had a chance to win it at White Mountain and had it at that. And
I only have high class tattoos.
Exactly. But at the same time, I made that joke, and he almost did it. If he didn't,
That kid
if
can
he didn't,
drive.
yeah,
he can.
if he
And
didn't,
he's nice. He's super nice.
all right. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Brandon's a good shit. Brandon's a cool dude, and Boone absolutely loves that guy. And he had a chance, and if he didn't blow a hose, he was going to do that. But definitely kudos to Kyle Streeter, who we had on our podcast. But we did that for him as a joke, and he came close, and I was like, fuck it, we'll do it for next year. We'll see who can do it. So if
He pulled a Ben Bazowski on Ben Bazowski. We went out to eat and had steak, and he's like, wait, Ben's paying? I'll take 2.
He's a good shit. He's definitely a good
That's
dude.
a joke. We're playing, but
He's a good dude. But
Ben ordering a wicked expensive steak, that was real.
Indeed, yes. But I offered to pay.
They still talk to me about that.
real quick before we get off of this, when you guys went into that car store racing, you're handing out the Pro Stock Nationals. Did you guys have any bites on that?
On the where? I'm sorry.
When you guys went and did the car store race?
We're down in Florida?
I don't think it was Florida.
ASA race.
ASA race, yeah. Did you guys have
We
any
had a
bites
couple
on that? Yeah.
people.
We had a couple people interested.
Obviously, don't release their names if they're still in the works. Of
We
it, but-
also trying not to poach people from a different.
Yeah, because we
Track.
talked to the track owner on that. Not the track owner,
But you
the,
just
the
took Bubba
promoter.
Pollard.
He actually signed up
He
before.
actually signed up before. He's like, I can't believe it.
But you get my point. Like, did you guys get any tread on that? Because that was a big question that I heard through the rumor mill. That
There's a lot of
people
people.
are wondering-
The interest. So here's the thing. This is first year. A lot of people are going to see how it goes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of interest. There's a lot of people who race down south who went. This is one I got to put on the mental note to see how this went.
Yeah.
And then this is the first year we go off fairly well. There's going to be issues. They will be. Every race has issues. Every track has issues. There'll be stuff that pops up. We'll figure it out. It's all in how we handle it.
Yep.
That is the thing that we're trying to do a little differently this year, is handle things a little differently.
Yep.
Ben kind of pulled the reins off and said, just run stuff like you owned it. Like, run stuff like you know, we all have a vested interest in all of this. All of us do. We enjoy what we do. I'm the luckiest. People can make fun of me all they want. I'm the luckiest guy in the world. Yes, I work 7 days a week. I work all the time, but I'm doing what I love.
Yeah. What are you doing? What are you covering? What is your job? You're covering racing.
Yeah. I get to work in racing every single day.
And I would kill for that job. I would kill to just run a podcast all my life. You know what I mean?
For the first year and a half I worked here, I was doing 70 hours a week delivering oil at night and then doing this on weekends, and it was too much.
And I hope you know that, like, even if when we were having our feud, I did put your name in for that thing because they were looking for someone, and I was like, oh, boy, do I have the fucking guy for you. This guy works his ass off doing what he does, and he's working overnights delivering fucking oil. I go, he will definitely do better doing what he is. So
definitely tell how much fatter I've got since I don't drag oil hose all night long.
It just happens, man. Like,
I'm such a not nice person too. The first time I see Randy in person was at the Howler last year. I haven't seen you for months. I was like, hey, welcome to the club, bud.
Hey, it comes with fatherhood. Ben's just about to fucking find it out. So
Trust me, I'm already getting there.
the food will get bigger. You'll get more relaxed with everything. But like I said, man, I appreciate you guys having me come back, having me come on this show, and I appreciate everybody that does follow my podcast, and I appreciate you guys having me on your thing.
Well, glad you came on.
Roughing Fenders Podcast, guys, found where
definitely follow us on Facebook.
Mediocre racing podcasts are found.
There we go, man.
You find this one right next to it.
I don't think it's a big thing, but I do enjoy the people that do enjoy what it is.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's
definitely fun.
It's not polished at all. It's definitely a fucking mound turd, but at the same time, I have fun doing it, and that's if I didn't have fun, then I'd stop doing it. You know what I mean?
Let's do this again.
100%. Bring me on whenever.
This was absolutely fun. Thanks for coming on.
I'll not do the pre-race show because I'm going to be liquored up by that time.
Guys, Hudson Speedway practice this Sunday. Do not forget. Pro Stock Nationals are going to be here before you know it. Spring Fling, Claremont Motorsports Park, 2 days of action. If it's got four wheels and it races, it will probably be at Claremont Motorsports Park that weekend. A lot of money on the line. Very excited to see everything coming on. Opening day at Hudson, we get R&R Street Stocks there for the Carl Torone 49. Thank you to Original Wheelman for bumping up that payout for that division. Guys, if you don't see something that we're doing that you want us to do, send a message. We're very receptive to, hey, have you thought of this? We will look at it and be like, if it makes sense, we do it. We do that stuff all the time.
Do you have a phone number or something?
My phone number is available on all the track websites.
Call them at 3 a.m.
People do. People love that.
But at the same time, the suggestion box is the biggest thing because the more eyes that you have, a new fresh set of eyes is the best thing. And you guys are doing pretty good. I want to give you guys your praise for what you're doing and stuff like that. And that goes for all tracks all around the Northeast. But I wanted to give you guys your thing, and I appreciate you guys having me come back and to enjoy all the festivities that you guys do have at all three tracks.
You're not making more tracks.
Excited.
So.
I'm excited. I'm excited for it all. And the Roku thing's a big thing. You guys are doing definitely the thing.
That's going to be
Please
cool.
don't fucking kill anybody with that cannon. But at the same time,
I'll try not to. But I'm not making any promises.
It'll happen. But at the same time, like I said, I appreciate you guys having me on. And
when it got delivered, my neighbor, you know my neighbor in the wheelchair next door.
Yeah.
When it came, like I was carrying it out to my truck, and he was like, "What's that for?" I'm like, "That's to shoot you, Don. So you better get out of my driveway quicker." And he's like, "That would be fun." He says to me, he's like, "Do you think if I hold it and shoot it, it will push me backwards?" I was like, "Probably."
Well, you guys should try it out.
Didn't have any air in it. We have to get air in it.
I gotta get some
CO2.
Which
is a lot harder than you think.
There's a guy that. Okay, so I used to get my nitrogen tanks filled before nitrogen was a thing. There's a drag shop right down the road with
Yeah.
Go right there. He does NOS and all that stuff. So
I used to get my nitrous filled by him.
Exactly. See, that's how I found out about him.
We are plumb out of time, guys. It is 7:30.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys letting me
I was like, what are we going to do for an hour? And we've gone an hour and a half.
Holy shit.
Boone has already given up on caring about watching about this show at this point. He's watching Mighty Morphin Power Rangers or whatever kids watch these days. I don't even know what kids watch anymore. My kids are adults.
Bluey or something like that. But like I said, thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate everybody that did watch and listen, and you guys are doing great things. So have me on whenever. I'm down for it.
All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Have fun. Bye, guys.
See ya.